work and prayers of century have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you.
Thanks for watching a special edition of Live at 4, an historic day in Washington and across the country as Joe Biden is sworn in as the 46th President of the United States.
It's also an historic day for women and people of color as Kamala Harris becomes the first female Black and Asian American to be sworn in as Vice President. We have team coverage this afternoon as we continue to follow the events in Washington and here in Wisconsin. But first, let's get you caught up on what's already happened today.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Joe Biden took the oath of office, becoming the 46th President of the United States. He delivered his speech in front of a sea of flags and not in front of thousands of supporters because of security concerns and the pandemic. Tackling the coronavirus will be one of the new president's top priorities.
And my first act as president, I'd like to ask you to join me in a moment of silent prayer. Remember all of those who we lost in this past year to the pandemic. Amen.
The scaled-back inaugural ceremony still featured VIP guests and celebrity performances. Earlier this afternoon, President Biden laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier with Presidents Bush and Obama at Arlington National Cemetery. About a half hour from now, President Biden will take executive action to undo some of now former President Trump's actions. In a nod to the support he'll need from Congress, President Biden invited leaders from both parties to join him at a mass this morning. Biden's message of unity in his inaugural address is getting support from Wisconsin's congressional delegation.
Amy Reed shares how our elected leaders are responding. Amy?
Biden is racking up support from Wisconsin politicians in his own party, and our Republican senator wished Biden well in a tweet, saying he encourages Biden to, quote, follow through on his pledge to be a president for all Americans and act to unify our divided nation. Congressman Ron Kind also released a statement talking about the unity Biden encouraged, quote, it's time to set aside the bitter partisanship and join together to tackle the unprecedented challenges facing all Americans, starting with the need to implement a national coordinated plan to defeat COVID-19.
I think it was the tone that we've needed as a country for the last 4 years. I think everyone took a collective sigh, a breath, and saw that, we're back to having a president who, is talking about doing things together.
That's Representative Mark Pocan. He told me he's hopeful the tone will catch on and stay now that former President Trump is gone. He said a lot of Republicans feared backlash from him, especially on Twitter, but now he thinks it could be different.
Amy Reed, thank you. Today's historic inauguration was also a national special security event, contending with both the pandemic concerns and the possibility of protests. Supporters of President Joe Biden got as close to history as they could, huddling around their phones outside a security checkpoint blocks from the U.S. Capitol. With boarded up businesses, guarded checkpoints, and armed forces, this inauguration day looks very different than it has in the past. The heavy security presence includes 25,000 National Guard members.
I think just being here in D.C. in the proximity of history-making event is just wonderful.
Inside the security perimeter, a field of 200,000 flags lined the National Mall, replacing the usual throng of spectators. The display represented all 50 states and the 5 U.S. territories. We did not end up seeing a dangerous protest outside the state capitol today, or in the last few days for that matter.
But police were ready just in case. With boarded up windows and roadblocks remain. Gabriella Becerra is live at the Capitol and shares how much longer we might expect those precautions to be there. Gabby?
Well, Mark and Susan, we've been told that we can expect the Capitol to look like this through Inauguration Day, but no one is able to tell us if that means the boards and roadblocks come down tomorrow. When we asked the Department of Administration this question, they said they do not share details regarding current or future security measures to protect the safety and security of the Capitol Police and members of the public. Madison Police Interim Chief Vic Wall says today is that peak day, and they'll determine if additional staffing and visibility needs to be an option day by day going forward.
Well, certainly today is a point of emphasis, I think, just because of the national significance of the day. But if you here in Madison, obviously going back the last 8-9 months, we've had, protests almost every day and, had sort of a respite over the last month or so. But so we've had some enhanced things in place really for quite a while now.
Wall added that today it was an uneventful week here locally, which he says is a good thing. And there was not a request today for the Wisconsin National Guard at the Wisconsin State Capitol. Mark and Susan.
Gabby, live at the State Capitol. Thank you. Many world leaders breathed a sigh of relief as Joe Biden became America's 46th president.
This new dawn in America is the moment we've been waiting for so long. Europe is ready for a new start with our oldest and most trusted partner.
In Brussels, the European Commission president said the inauguration shows the resilience of America's democracy. Germany's president said he's greatly relieved President Joe Biden is moving into the White House, while French President Macron said that he hopes a Biden administration will be more committed in the fight against terror. Russia was less enthusiastic. The Kremlin said any improvement in Moscow's tense relationship with Washington would be up to the Biden administration. And in Iran, the president there did not mince words, saying, "Today is the end of Trump's unfortunate government."
Absent from the ceremony this morning was former President Donald Trump. He declined to greet his successor as he hinted at a political return. He departed for Florida before the inaugural festivities began.
We'll be back in some form. I wish the new administration great luck and great success.
Trump landed in West Palm Beach, Florida to cheers from supporters. He'll be staying at his Mar-a-Lago property for the foreseeable future.
And President Trump used his last hours in the White House to grant 73 pardons, and he commuted the sentences of 70 other federal offenders. The most prominent name on the list is former White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon. His trial was due to begin in May. 2 rappers also made the cut, Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Despite pleas by some of the alleged Capitol rioters, none were granted that request, nor was the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, despite fans and a stretch limo waiting outside a federal medical center in Texas where he's being held.
Inauguration coverage continues tonight with special CBS News primetime coverage at 7 o'clock. We'll also continue to update you on News 3 Now at 5 and 6.
Time now for the weather. Chris Reese is in Reese Manor with the sun out today.
Yeah, we saw more sunshine out there, Mark. Cloud cover tried to work its way on in from the north and west, but that sunshine has won out for us. We're still seeing more sunshine out there right now. Temperatures have stayed on a cooler note, though. 24 is where we stand right now. Our winds are out of the south and southwest at 18 miles per hour, though. I have a statement. When I talk about these southwest winds, that typically means things are getting ready to warm up. 27 in Janesville right now, but I want to show you what's happening just back towards the south and west. 36 in Prairie du Chien right now. 34 in Boscobel, Viroqua coming in at 32. That's the warming air. It's going to be working its way on in as we move further into the evening. Wind chills. 10 is our wind chill right now. 7 in Watertown, 9 in Waukesha. Juneau, you feel like 4, but those wind chills do get better as you work your way just over towards the south and west. With the sunshine, Doppler track comes in all clear. I expect we keep it that way for most of the evening. It is possible that some areas see a flurry, but that chance is incredibly slim. As we look ahead, look for mainly just increase in cloud cover. Temperatures will actually continue to warm up. So by 10 o'clock, o'clock. We'll be right around 33 degrees, and then we'll see our overnight low down into the upper 20s. Traffic-wise, things are all good on your Inauguration Day afternoon. The Beltline in good shape. You are seeing your typical slowdowns that you would expect for this time of the day, but no major unexpected issues are popping up. I'll keep you updated if that changes. We're also going to be talking weekend snow that could impact the Packer game in your extended forecast.
All right, Chris, thank you. We'll see you then. In other news today, the Greene County teen accused of killing his newborn daughter is asking for his case to be moved to juvenile court. 16-year-old Logan Kruckenberg Anderson is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. He wants to be moved to adult. He's currently in adult court. Court documents say he admitted to taking the newborn infant to a wooded area just days after she was born and shooting her in the head. Today in court, the defense says they want to move the case to juvenile court due to Kruckenberg Anderson's age. He's expected to be back in court next month.
To our coronavirus news now, 53 more people in Wisconsin have lost their lives from COVID-19 in our state. At the same time, more than 1,500 people have tested positive for the virus in the last day or so. There's a glimmer of hope in California, where for weeks coronavirus cases have overwhelmed hospitals. Hospitalization numbers there are falling dramatically. California health officials say a new variant of the virus that showed up in July but stayed dormant until November may be what's driving the surge there. 5 vaccination super centers opened in Southern California yesterday, but there's concern that they will soon run out of shots. New York City has vaccinated at least 500,000 people, but it is also running low on vaccines.
We're working on a goal of 1 million vaccinations this month. We can do it if we get enough vaccine.
President Biden has pledged 100 million vaccinations within his first 100 days in office. His plan calls for ramping up the vaccine supply, working with states and cities to open thousands of new vaccination centers, and training an army of volunteers to administer the shots.
Another 1,800 or so people in Wisconsin have received their first COVID-19 vaccine shot. More than 260,000 people in the state have received the vaccine so far. That number is expected to start growing as more access is given to people across the state. More than 45,000 people have completed their vaccination process. Well, still to come at 4, what lies ahead now for President Joe Biden?
We'll look at the significance of today and the future of the new administration when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Looking for a sofa? Looking for a chair? You haven't shopped furniture in Madison until you've shopped Dwellings, Madison's best-kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous new showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Everything is relative. Travel, for example. A trip to Stoughton might seem like a long way, but if you're shopping for diamonds, it's closer than you think.
Diamond Select.
Importers of shimmering diamonds from the mines of South Africa to the streets of Antwerp and Tel Aviv. They shop the diamond capitals of the world so you don't have to.
Diamond Select. Direct pricing saves you money.
On GIA certified South African diamonds.
Diamond Select.
Downtown Stoughton.
Introducing a revolution in the world of pain relief. New Advil Dual Action. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. New Advil Dual Action with acetaminophen.
When the chapstick goes on, it's on. Get yours on at chapstick.com.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues to help hardworking families attain homeownership. By providing financial coaching, homeowners can manage their mortgage and other finances while building stability for their family. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
Finding the right ingredients for a healthy lifestyle can be tricky. That's why SSM Health and News 3 Now are here to help.
Our Time for Kids recipe for health experts use online conversations and on-air reports to answer your health questions.
So tell us, what topics would your family like to hear about? What questions do you have?
Use the handy feedback form on our Time for Kids page to share what matters most to your family's health. And together,
let's take time for kids.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid. Visit Toyota.com to learn more. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Looking for a sofa? Looking for a chair? You haven't shopped furniture in Madison until you've shopped Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous new showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Stocks reached record closes after President Biden is sworn in. The Dow Industrials gained 257 points, ending the day at a record high of 31,188. The NASDAQ added 260 points, and the S&P 500 was up 52. Again, all record closes. Well, as you know, Joe Biden became the President of the United States of America earlier today, and Kamala Harris became the Vice President.
So what happens next for the new administration and for the country?
Here to talk about the meaning of today is Beloit College political professor Philip Chen. Philip, good to see you again.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So what are some of your thoughts from today?
So I think what we saw today was a pretty normal inauguration day, all things considered, considering that we're in the midst of a pandemic, right? We saw a very sort of standard socially distanced event, but the same sort of the things we've come to expect from most inaugurations, talking about unity, trying to bring the country together, and laying out a vision for what the Biden-Harris administration will be focusing on in their first few years in office.
You know, we remain a very divided country. 74 million people voted for President Trump. And so even though the theme of the inaugural address was unity, what does President Biden have to do now to try to unify the country?
I mean, I think that this is something that I've been, trying to push to my students and to a lot of people, is that there's only so much that one person, one president or one vice president can do to bring that kind of unity together. The way that the country might be able to come out of this kind of polarization is ultimately with more leadership from members of both parties being sort of more visible in that kind of bipartisan or at least nonpartisan type of behavior. So when elites start to talk about how they are working together, when they start to compromise, when they start to sort of bring down the heat of the rhetoric, then we might start to see that trickle down into voters and into the general public. But until we see sort of a more widespread endorsement of this idea of unity from both sides of the political aisle, I don't know that there's a lot that the Biden administration can do. It doesn't mean they shouldn't try. It just means that we need to be looking for sort of a more concerted and wide-ranging endorsement of this idea from elites on both sides.
And after 240 some years, we have a female vice president.
We do.
Pretty significant.
Incredibly significant. Probably, I would say, the most significant piece of what happened today.
Why is it so important?
I mean, I think it's important because we have a system that has systematically and strategically kept women out of power, and what we're seeing is sort of the not the end goal, but the first steps of women ascending to positions of sort of national power within the executive branch. It's a foundational moment in that sense. Joe Biden is a president in the mold of basically every other past president. And Kamala Harris is a vice president who sets just a different standard for what that office means. We talk a lot in political science about what we call descriptive representation, the value that comes from seeing somebody like you holding office. And I just think that, that is such an important piece of what we're seeing today with Kamala Harris, is that we are finally seeing some descriptive representation within the executive branch.
A lot of pomp and circumstance today, and now the heavy lifting begins. We'll see what happens. Philip, thanks for being with us again today.
Of course, happy to be here.
Always great to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Great to be here. Thank you.
When we come back, uniting a divided nation, can it be done?
We'll let history be our guide. We'll have more on that coming up after Chris's First Warn forecast.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee.
We are the Thrivers, women with metastatic breast cancer. Our time for more time has come. Living longer is possible and proven in postmenopausal women taking Kisqali plus fulvestrant. In a clinical trial, Kisqali plus fulvestrant helped women live longer with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer, and it significantly delayed disease progression. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
What do you think? I love it.
Carrier has a complete line of home heating products to keep your family comfortable this winter without burning your budget. With smart temperature management and remote access options, it's easier than ever to control your home's climate. And Carrier energy-efficient systems can help reduce utility bills without sacrificing comfort. For more complete comfort and greater peace of mind, turn to your Carrier expert.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Attention, have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Almiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Almiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-6755.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee.
Pacific Park and the city of Santa Monica put on quite a light show on the Pacific Wheel. The program features messages of thanks and encouragement to frontline medical responders in hard-hit Southern California. Over 1 million Angelenos have contracted COVID-19. The Pacific Wheel is the world's only solar-powered Ferris wheel, featuring 174,000 LED lights that are mounted on the Ferris wheel's 40 spokes and 2 hubs. The lighting system features 16.7 million color value combinations, while the programming and display software represents imaging of up to 24 frames per second to display dynamic, custom computer-generated lighting entertainment. Thank you to the staff. Congratulations to them. That's a great site. You ever been on that Ferris wheel, Chris?
I have not been on that Ferris wheel, but it's been a while since I've been on a good one, so now you're making me want to take a trip to experience that. Speaking of trips, though, we are going to take a trip into the world of weather and talk about that forecast coming up into the weekend that has some snow chances in it, along with additional snow chances into next week.
I'm
I'm Denise, and I was hurt by a hit-and-run driver. I called Gruber Law Offices. After that call, everything fell into place.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They were with me every step of the way.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there is now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Keep a neighbor in crisis safely in their home during these difficult times by supporting and donating to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
We hear much about what divides us, our differences. But today, America is coming together, as it always has. People rising to the occasion. Among them, the healthcare alumni of Herzing University, over 12,000 strong and growing. This is your opportunity to join Herzing, to make a difference. Together, you can start now. Find out how at herzing.edu.
Serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Call us today for a free consultation. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We had the sunshine out there today, but it was certainly a chilly day, starting out into the teens, and well, we've only warmed up into the mid-20s at this point. But wind chills, there's still something to take into account as you're headed outside. I looked outside earlier. The neighbors' trash cans are just blowing all down the street. So it has certainly been a windy day. The wind chill at 10 for us in Madison right now. 13 our wind chill in Janesville. But then you work your way back towards the south and west, and that's where we start to see those wind chills come up just a little bit. Actual temperatures have really begun to warm up. The actual air temperature 37 in Prairie du Chien as we speak, 34 in Boscobel, Platteville, that wind chill at 31. But I want to talk about the temperature in Madison. Yes, it's at 24. Winds are out of the south and southwest, so at 18. And earlier today at lunchtime, really at 1 o'clock, our temperature was at 15. So we've already started to see this improvement in temperatures that I've talked about heading our direction, and our temperatures will get even warmer. There's a warm front just back towards the south and west. As this warm front moves towards the north and east, that's when we'll start to see our temperatures warm up as we go through the overnight hours. With that did come at least a little bit of cloud cover, but most of the cloud cover even is to our north and east. This is why we saw more sunshine here throughout south central Wisconsin. High resolution radar in general, it is quiet, but don't be surprised if a flurry or two does pop up, especially as you work your way towards the north. But overall, my expectation, is that most of us will be dry. We take you hour by hour through the overnight. Here's what to expect. Clouds become a little bit thinner, so we become partly cloudy overnight. Temperatures are their warmest just before midnight. Then we'll start to see those temperatures drop just a little bit. I'm expecting those overnight lows into the mid to upper 20s for most of us. Tomorrow, We start out with sunshine. We see more cloud cover into the afternoon, but by 4 o'clock, that's where temperatures are their warmest, into the lower 30s. Maybe you want to go skiing or something like that. This is going to be the best time to do it because temperatures begin to drop. So by 12:30, we are into the teens. Then it's the overnight time frame. That's when temperatures go towards 0 as we start to move into the weekend. Here we are, though, for your overall pattern. As we go towards the end of the weekend into the weekend, things turn a little bit more active. This is as we begin to watch a disturbance moving in from the north and west. This likely brings accumulating snow Saturday night and into Sunday. If you're going to be traveling up towards Green Bay, a big Packer game happening at Lambeau, this could likely be something to take into account for the game. But then this model tries to clear us out Monday into Tuesday. Other models want to bring another system as we go from Monday into Tuesday. But ultimately, we're in a pattern. It's going to be a little bit up and down in terms of temperature. When you have an up and down pattern in terms of temperature, that's where things become a little bit more active. And that's why we're starting to see a greater probability of above normal precipitation throughout parts of the upper Midwest as we go through that extended forecast. Something to keep in mind, but we do have those snow chances certainly for you Saturday night and Sunday. Again, on Monday, a little chance on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday and Thursday for next week. All of these systems will be fine-tuned as we get closer. Otherwise, it's real cold for Friday night and into Saturday with highs in the teens and lows right around 0.
Coldest weather so far this season. All right, Chris, thank you. President Joe Biden faces a daunting task, reuniting Americans after a bitter election.
Most of us now say the biggest threat to our way of life isn't economic collapse or natural disaster or a foreign invasion. It's us. 54% cite our fellow Americans.
If there is good news, though, it's this. We've been here before. Tony DeCopel reports.
Time doesn't move any differently at the birthplace of America. But a lot of history is collected here at the building where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were signed in colonial Philadelphia.
That's America's birthplace, where it all started. How do you think it's going?
America is in turmoil right now.
Not too good. Terrible.
We came to learn something about America today.
How's it going in the country?
Horrible right now.
Horrible?
Yeah.
And found that people who journeyed here from all across the country are unified on at least one point.
America's right now.
Could you rephrase?
They didn't all use language like that, of course, but the sentiment was clear as a bell.
This doesn't feel like America, and the America I was raised to love and believe in.
I'm not exactly sure that we're in the place that the founding fathers would have wanted us to be in.
They're supposed to be like founded on like liberty and justice for all, and it doesn't feel like that's what's going on right now.
It should be America under one nation, under God, indivisible, but I don't see it that way in my eyes right now.
Our national mood, not to mention our 220-year tradition of peaceful transfers of power, took a blow this month as rioters overran the U.S. Capitol. But Jessica Roney, a professor of early American history at Temple University, says, don't go getting nostalgic.
We've never been a unified country. We've always had these huge fractures. If anything, what we have now is a recognition of them. And in some ways, that's hard and painful and scary. And in some ways, it's the only way forward.
It feels worse, but in fact, divisiveness is American history, not the exception to American history.
Yes.
With that in mind, a goal of the Constitution was to somehow prevent us from collapsing.
The only question was not how to prevent corruption and decay, but how to delay it for as long as possible.
They thought it would decay inevitably.
This is a world that believes in corruption. Like right now, we think about our conspiracy theories as like a 21st century thing. It's not. The 18th century was all about conspiracy theories. It was all about this idea of tyranny and the usurpation of liberty. And the same kind of heated rhetoric that we're used to today, there's a lot of that in the 1780s and 90s, where people are really concerned about the imminent demise of the republic right now, tomorrow, if the other guy is elected.
We also asked people to put today's America in context with America's past, and we got the answers you might have feared.
Is there any moment from American history that comes to mind as a point of comparison with today?
Maybe the American Revolution.
Really?
Or the Civil War. There's a fracture that I don't think we've seen in over a century.
I guess the Civil War, when it was like the North versus the South, that's what it feels like again. It's just, it's not a matter of like locations fighting against each other. It's like people fighting against people over a president.
But Roney says there's actually a lesser-known moment that may give us hope.
What I'm proud of in American history, what's a moment that I look to? I always said the election of 1800. I think it's just a phenomenal moment.
It's the first peaceful transfer of power between opposing sides in American history. And in his inaugural address, Thomas Jefferson made a now famous appeal for unity among the parties of the time, saying, "We are all Republicans. We are all Federalists."
There will be no blue states and red states.
As Joe Biden prepares to hit a very similar note in his inaugural address, not every American is ready to believe him.
How is he unifying America when he was supporting everyone who started the riots back over the summer? I don't see that as unifying at all.
Are you hopeful that he will be president for all Americans, not just the people who voted for him?
I hope so. I hope so.
Do you think it's likely? Do you expect so?
No.
But then again, we also found Susan Sandler literally basking in front of Independence Hall.
What is the thing that you're basking in?
That we are so lucky to be in the United States.
She's optimistic, she says, in part because of the ideas ratified long ago in this very building.
I personally was not a Trump supporter. I supported the right of other people to believe in him and to give him a chance. I don't like how that worked out. So what did we do? We voted. That's what we do in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And then we respect that vote, and then we move forward. And if we don't like it, we vote again. That's what we do in the United States. So there we are. Back to our basics.
Tony DeCopel, CBS News.
Back to our basics. We'll be right back.
$6 million worth of top brand home furnishings must be sold at Ashley Home Store. All furniture is up to 50% off store-wide. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for up to 3 years. Stretch your stimulus check further at Ashley Home Store.
If your dry eye symptoms keep coming back, inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Looks like a great day for achy, burning eyes.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Ha! These drops probably won't touch me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra? No!
It can provide lasting relief.
Oh.
Xiidra is the only FDA-approved treatment specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye, twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Talk to an eye doctor about twice daily Xiidra.
I'd prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my A1C because my body can still make its own insulin.
And Trulicity activates my body to release it,
lowering my blood sugar from the first dose. Once weekly Trulicity responds when my body needs it 24/7. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin.
It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include indigestion, fatigue, belly pain, decreased appetite, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity. The $6 million stimulus sell-off is now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save huge on top brand appliances, including top brand doorbusters like these. Plus special no-interest financing for 18 months and quick ship delivery at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
Tonight at 5, Joe Biden has been sworn in as the 46th President of the United States. How Wisconsin lawmakers are reacting to the Biden transition. That's ahead at 5.
Evening clouds and brisk winds will keep temperatures up tonight. Temperatures will be in the 30s Thursday, but colder air arrives for Friday and Saturday. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, a new book captures the stories behind the Black Lives Matter murals painted on plywood in downtown Madison this summer. We'll hear from the creators.
This is a live look at the White House in Washington, D.C. President Biden, now a resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
For the 4th year in a row, a local organization is launching a cookie box sale to raise money for women's health.
The Culinary Ladies Collective is a network of area professional female chefs, cooks, and other jobs revolving around food. Proceeds from the cookie boxes they sell will go to the Harambee Village. That's a group that helps create positive birthing experiences for people of all backgrounds. Every box has treats for more than 20 local businesses.
We're really concerned with women in the food and beverage industries and a lot of the issues and negative experiences that they're facing.
They've already sold more than 400 of the 600 boxes. The rest are expected to go soon. If you're interested, you can go to giantjones.com/cookie grab. Well, 1 in 5 teens suffers from a mental health disorder such as depression or anxiety.
That's according to a new survey that also shows parents back peer support in schools. Chris Martinez has more.
High school junior Annalise Ponce is remote learning, like many students during the pandemic.
School has been a roller coaster, especially trying to understand through a screen and not actually being there physically.
Annalise knows the teen years can already be a challenge, so she is trying to help fellow students, serving as a peer leader.
Just giving out advice from your heart. If there's any problem or situation that they're in, they could trust you and they could come to you.
Her school takes part in a program with the Center for Supportive Schools. It helps students transition from middle to high school and gives mentors proper training. Lorianne Clementson manages the program at Annalise's school.
Learning how to engage in these conversations. And then throughout the school year, they meet with their 9th graders about once a week, just teaching them different skills, right? Providing those kinds of resources.
A new poll from C.S. Mott Children's Hospital shows 1 in 3 parents strongly support schools having mental health programs like peer support leaders.
Parents recognize that they can't do this themselves. And so they look to not just the medical community, but schools as a key partner.
Annalise is now mentoring virtually.
If you're feeling sad, upset for some reason, we could talk it out because I've probably felt that way.
She says she gets as much out of the program as the students she mentors. Chris Martinez, CBS News.
Also found 64% of parents would allow their teen to be trained as a peer support leader.
Well, it's time to get your plant and garden questions answered.
When we come back, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company joins us to take your calls. The number is 270-9933. So call now if you have a question for Lisa, and we'll get to your calls right after this.
One of our favorite Portage families here at the Portage Furniture Store, the Ayers family, that has grown a little bit since, he says high five. That's right. Since the last time we were here.
We sure have. Austin and I, proud 3rd generation owners, and now we're working on our 4th generation. We've seen generations of customers come through, and I think we take a lot of joy in seeing, hey, my parents bought from your dad, or bought from your uncles, or bought from your grandpa, and now Austin and I get to enjoy that ourselves.
How much fun is it on the days you come back into town and the 3 of you are together?
It's very special. Like I said, the longevity from my dad and uncle started in 1940 to now. Very special.
We're very, very proud to showcase predominantly American-made brands.
Safe and pressure-free shopping.
We have a number of great lines, including Serta mattresses, Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, and England.
And not everyone has the Ayers last name, but everybody here, I know you guys consider family.
Yeah, we really have some wonderful people here, including, 2 salespeople, Rosie and Punky, who have been here with us from the very beginning, and we're really thankful for them.
Yeah, they really make you guys. They're the ones who make you all look good.
Yeah, they are.
No doubt.
And we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, well, he said it. I do. What are some of the biggest things that sets you guys apart?
The free delivery. Yeah.
They still got it. I was wondering.
We do.
Glad to hear it.
And on top of a first-class free delivery service, we're very proud of our huge selection of top-name brand furniture at guaranteed low prices.
Well, with the free delivery, we've got a lot of stops, but I'm glad you're helping me. From the Portage Furniture Store, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison. He's excited.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my A1C. Because my body can still make its own insulin.
And Trulicity activates my body to release it.
Lowering my blood sugar from the first dose. Once weekly Trulicity responds when my body needs it 24/7. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin.
It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include indigestion, fatigue, belly pain, decreased appetite, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Well, the Beltline is in great shape. We are starting to see at least your typical brake lights on East Wash once you get beyond the Capitol. So keep that in mind if your commute or wherever you're getting ready to go takes you that direction. Beltline speeds are all above 60 miles per hour for the most part, 62, 63, and 65. So the flow of traffic is above the speed limit there, which if you've driven our Beltline, you know that is nothing new. Otherwise, look for routes to cruise along at their normal speeds. No crashes, no major delays. Guys?
All right, Chris, thank you. Elvis Presley's Graceland is now offering online tours for fans around the world, including those who can't travel to the Tennessee tourist attraction during the pandemic. Graceland says the 2-hour guided tours will take virtual visitors into Presley's former Memphis home, which has been turned into a museum, which is now open to limited capacity in-person tours. The virtual ticket costs $100 and includes a tour of Presley's jet and a walkthrough of the entertainment complex. Well, it's time to get your plant and garden questions answered.
The number to call is 270-9933. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is standing by. Hi, Lisa.
Hi there, guys. How are you?
Good. Trying to stay warm.
Good. Yeah, good to see you. Let's get right to the phones, and we'll start with Diane in Madison. Hi, Diane. What's your question?
My question is, I have these little bugs flying around my house that I'm sure came from plants that I brought in from outside this fall. Is there any way to get rid of those?
Well, it depends on what it is. You can certainly, if it's just flying around and not really damaging your plants, it sounds like it's probably fungus gnats. So fungus gnats are a little insect that lives in the soil as it's decomposing, and they really don't cause any damage. You can put some sharp sand on the tops of your pots. You can use a sticky trap. That's really effective. It'll lure them and they stick to it. But you might want to put in a systemic insecticide made for houseplants. Bayer makes one that's a little capsule. Depending on the size of your pot, you just kind of push them down into the soil, and as you water, the insecticide is released. So that becomes part of the plant. And if the insects are feeding on the plant, that should take care of them.
All right. Let's go to Allie. Hi, Allie. What's your question?
I have a hibiscus plant, and one of the flowers created a seed pod this summer, and I saved the seeds, and I would like to know how to go about trying to grow one myself.
Okay, well, I will say that it will be a surprise as to what you get, because you've got that whole cross-pollination thing. You don't know which were both of the parents, but it sounds like a fun thing to do. I would certainly make sure that you get seed starting mix, or it's often called germinating mix, and you can start in like a jiffy pot, or a little, maybe like a 2-inch plastic pot with the growing mix in there. Hibiscus like heat, so I'm going to say to get it started, you're going to want to put it in a warm place. And then once the plant is up, it's going to need plenty of light.
So it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, if the seed was properly cured, it'll grow. We don't know what it will grow.
Okay.
That's half the surprise.
Hopefully it's not the plant from Little House of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors. Below zero maybe coming up in a couple of nights. Is this dangerous for the plants?
Most of the plants that we have in our gardens are pretty acclimated to this kind of temperature. But if you have things that are broadleaf evergreens like holly or rhododendron, or maybe some other kinds of needly evergreens that you're a little worried about, you can get a product called Wilt Proof. It's sort of a waxy, naturally occurring spray that you spray right on the foliage, and that will help keep them from transpiring all the moisture that's in the leaves. Otherwise, put up a little windscreen. The good news is that things that are close to the ground, like perennials and bulbs, will be really well insulated under the lovely blanket of snow that we have.
All right. We have a call, but I don't know who it is because it hasn't been cleared.
It's a surprise.
Do you have a question for Lisa? I don't know who's on the line, so it's hard to really...
It's Marie.
Okay, Marie, what's your question?
Well, this is related to the first question she answered. I have all kinds of plants that got some kind of disease inside, but I moved all the plants and soil and everything outside, and there's nothing growing inside, but the bugs are still here, and they bite.
Oh.
I have a rash all over my body.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Can you actually capture some of the bugs and bring them into the garden center? We could take a look at them. Or if you can get a photo, you can email it to plantdesk@brucecompany.com. And if we can ID it for you, then we can, without the plants being in the house, it's kind of hard to treat the insects. But let's first figure out what they are.
Okay. Is this Della?
Yes.
What's your question?
I have a question about my Christmas cactus. I've had it for about 5 years, and it's only bloomed once, and I can't get it to bloom anymore.
So it might need an up-potting, not necessarily a repotting, but maybe a slightly larger pot. You don't want to disturb the root ball too much. It's a little early to do that, though, so you're going to want to wait until maybe end of February to do that. The other thing about Christmas cactus is they like a little bit of cool weather to stimulate the flower bud production, and you want to have them in a room that is dark when it's dark outside. So you want them in a spare bedroom, or you want them in a space that is not where you're living at night during the wintertime or during the fall. That shortening day length is really what's going to trigger that flower bud production.
All right.
So what, do I use any special soil?
When you just a cactus soil, they're a cactus in the cactus family, so just use a cactus soil.
All right, we are out of time. Thank you all for calling in. Lisa, thank you for your time.
You're welcome,
Thanks,
guys.
Lisa.
We'll see you soon. We'll have a final check of the forecast coming up.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Still a traffic jam. Just better views. Still your to-do list. Just getting more done. Still packing up? Just a little easier. The Chevy Silverado, making life's journey just better.
Right now, get $4,750 cash allowance on this 2021 Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners with an eligible GM credit card get an additional $1,750 total allowance. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
During Steinhaffel's Dream Car Giveaway, you could win a 2-year lease to a 2021 Mercedes C300 when you test rest a Beauty Rest Black or Black Hybrid. Beauty Rest Black are the ultimate in luxury and comfort. Queen mattresses start at just $19.99 and get $200 in Steinhaffel's cash. And with Steinhaffel's special financing, buying a Beauty Rest Black has never been easier. So take a test rest and you could drive away in a Mercedes C300 during Steinhaffel's Dream Car Giveaway.
Thinking about your financial plan? So are we. Prudential helps 25 million people with their financial needs. With over 90 years of investment experience, our thousands of financial professionals can help. Go to Prudential.com or talk to an advisor.
Tonight at 5, a Rock County nursing home is requiring their employees to receive the COVID vaccine, and Joe Biden has officially been sworn in as the nation's 46th president. What his plans are in the first few days in office, that's ahead at 5.
Wisconsin launches a new program to get more residents vaccinated, and UW students are pitching in to help.
We all join a healthcare profession because we want to help people.
Blind mobile vaccination teams could be a game changer. Thursday on News 3 Now at 10.
All right, we are looking at temperatures right around 24 degrees for us. A bit of sunshine out there, but temperatures will continue to increase as we head through the overnight hours. That's why we have a high of 33 for today. That likely happens closer to midnight. 33 for tomorrow as well, but then it is 17 for your Friday. Snow chances arrive this weekend. We'll keep more snow chances around into early next week as well, with afternoon highs in the 20s.
All right, Chris, thank you. And we'll be right back.
At Diamond Select, our on-site goldsmith can create a beautiful, one-of-a-kind piece. Whether it's repurposing an old ring or creating from a picture on the line, we're here to help you create jewelry of your dreams. Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto is a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. And trust your heart to Entresto.
To most people, the idea of fighting is unpleasant, but sometimes it's necessary to fight. If you or your family has been injured, you'll want a good law firm on your side to make things right again. Habish, Habish & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
What do you think?
I love it.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
In today's Final Touch, here's your chance to own Kit from Knight Rider.
Well, kind of. Actor David Hasselhoff is auctioning off a car that looks like Kit from his 80s TV show. It didn't appear on television, and it's certainly not a talking supercomputer like the car in the series, but it's Hoff's personal Pontiac Firebird